Tanushree, I believe you are also with a bunch of fans. Do tell us what you're picking up at this moment.
Yeah, currently I'm present at Indore Rajwada Chowk, and here every single Indian fan came here after the Australia match. As for the record, Australia has always been dominant over India, but this time India has not broken its record of winning its every single match in this tournament. Now I will be talking to some fans. मदर डॉक्टर वो ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट है फ्रॉम इंदौर. आई विल टॉकिंग टू देम. मैम, बात करें इस बार के मैच की, तो कैसा ऐतिहासिक मैच लगा आपको इस बार?
मैम बहुत अच्छा ऐतिहासिक, इतना बढ़िया, इतना पावरफुल मैच रहा. सारे अपने खिलाड़ी है जो मतलब केवल विराट कोहली ही नहीं, केएल भी है और सो भी हार्दिक पांड्या वगैरह सारे मतलब पूरी टीम बेस्ट टीम है, मजबूत टीम हो गई है. और है ना, जरूरी नहीं था कि फाइनल जीतना पर सेमीफाइनल जीतना बहुत जरूरी था. और ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हराना काफी ज्यादा जरूरी था, क्योंकि वो एक समय ऐसा था कि उन्होंने अपनी ट्रॉफी जीतने के बाद पैरों में रखी थी. ये उसी चीज में घटना निकाला गया.
So we have also a small junior cricket with us. कौन है आपका फेवरेट?
मेरा फेवरेट विराट कोहली है.
क्यों विराट कोहली आपका फेवरेट है? क्योंकि इस बार का इस मैच में परफॉर्मेंस कैसा रहा?
एक नंबर.
बात करें फाइनल्स की, तो फाइनल्स के लिए क्या उम्मीद है आपकी इंडिया को लेकर?
बेसिकली इंडिया जीतेगी.
Yeah. Everyone here are having a hope for India winning this trophy and bringing the trophy back home. And everyone is very happy. As you can see in videos also right now, I'm present at Indore's Rajwada Chowk. Every single person have been gathered over here for past 1 hour. Every single person was wishing for the win of India. And as soon as the results came out, the flags were there in the air. Also, the firecrackers were burning. Also, you can hear the voice. Still, people are burning firecrackers. They are enjoying the win, and they have been gathered at a lot of number. People have been gathered here. Also, as you can see, people are celebrating the win for India. Every single person is
country. These are the reactions we are getting you from our reporters from different corners, from Delhi to Indore to different other parts of the country. It may be late tonight, but the fans of Team India are nevertheless celebrating. Those are the pictures on your screen. So how did the win come, and what was really the turning point in the match? Let's go over to our experts on the show at this hour. Gautam Bhattacharya, senior sports journalist; Rishi Chabra, cricket blogger and cricket fan as well. Gautam, tell us that one turning point you thought that worked in favour of India.
Yeah, I mean, it has got to be Steve Smith's, that there was that stroke of luck that Smith enjoyed when Sir was bowling. From it got an inside edge, rolled over to hit the stumps, the bails didn't come off. So Smith continued going. But I felt that if that was a kind of turning point for him to give him the leads, they should have also, they fell around 25 to 30 runs short in the game. And that made a kind of difference in a close match.
Rishi, what to you was the turning point?
I mean, for me, Rika, it had to be Travis Head's wicket. Because, the kind of start, the scratchy start that Travis had in the first few overs. And then all of a sudden, that inning, that over of 14 runs where he hit Mohammed Shami for 3 boundaries. And then, the luck, that inside edge, the missed run out for Travis Head. I think his wicket was very crucial because the kind of momentum that he was setting up, I think Australia could have easily taken the game away. And then, yes, Steve Smith's wicket as well, that the ball rolled onto the bails, but the bails never fell. So I think these two small turning points were very crucial for, especially Travis Head's wicket in India's bowling favour, that went India's favour.
Well, for me, the turning point really of the match was that dropped catch of Virat Kohli by Glenn Maxwell. And Virat Kohli went on to set up the innings, to set up the win for India. Let's listen into what the chase master had to say after India's semi-final win.
Well, I think my timing, the composure at the crease, I wasn't feeling desperate. I was pretty happy knocking ones around. And when, as a batsman, you start taking pride in hitting those singles into the gaps, it's very important to control your impulses while the game is going on. For me, it's what's important is to know the number of overs and the number of runs left. Even if the gap's 25-30 and it comes to 6 and over, I'm not bothered as long as we have 7 or 6 wickets in hand, because then you know 2 set batters and we can turn the game around, and the opposition can only come into the game with wickets. So that was the plan out there.
Gautam, would you say it's the nature of the run chase that India is displaying that makes them a true champion team? The way they have controlled the middle overs in this edition of the Champions Trophy is what has set them apart?
Yes, Rika, very much so. I mean, I was looking at it, and you see there were 3 key partnerships, and one was 90 odd, the biggest one between Virat and Shreyas Iyer. Then Akshar once again, carried on with the good work. He got some 42 in quick time, more than run a ball. And then finally, after Virat had gone, he didn't really leave it late. I mean, it was the wicket was not that it was maybe slightly easier to bat on than the previous 3 games, but was still gripping a bit. So he tried for that lofted shot over mid wicket, which didn't work. But then again, Rahul showed that he can shift gears if he wants to, and of course Pandya finished it with a flourish. So 3 key partnerships made that 265 not much sweat in the end, but it was a tricky chase. I mean, if we all add up to the context of the game, the kind of close finishes which we have had and finished on the wrong side against Australia, so that was the key.
Rishi, would you say that century number 52 was for taking for Virat Kohli had he not played a rash shot? And it was unusual, really unusual for Virat Kohli to have played a rash shot like that at that stage?
I mean, absolutely. If you look, if you listen to his post-match comments, he clearly says that, he wanted to rotate the strike and take a few singles. And coming from Virat, we've never seen, him going for the big shots. It's very rare that you see him going for the sixes. But again, he's trying to score quick runs for the team, and it's just a matter of fact, that ball, the bat turned in his hands, and the ball didn't come off well. But again, brilliant knock by Virat, leading from the front, and I think it needed someone like him to put up that big score on board, to make sure that India gets past Australia in a tricky situation.
Gautam, when you look at Virat Kohli's career, the phases, would you say this phase is as good as it was previously?
Well, it all depends on the conditions that he's kind of batting. But whenever it comes to the white ball game, I mean, there is no doubting of his abilities. I mean, when he was being ripped apart following the Australia tour and the problems outside the off stump in red ball cricket. Just before that, he has had scores. I mean, we don't have to go far. It's just about the T20 World Cup final. So there have been plenty of knocks like this. So his white ball form hasn't really deserted him that much. It was in the other format that he was having problems. But here, the wickets suited his style, and the kind of, that Pakistan innings and this. Of course, this one we will rate higher. And again, it's a show that he's getting his act together.
Right, this one definitely will be rated higher because it was against an opposition like Australia, and it was a tough opposition. India was also chasing the highest score set on this track in this edition of the Champions Trophy. But what we can tell our viewers at this hour also is that Virat Kohli, for his 84 runs, has been adjudged the player of this match, the player of the match. Apart from scoring those 84 runs, Rishi, and I take this question to you, he also held 2 catches, and it is a unique record now Virat Kohli has bagged as well. He's the second highest, he's the second in the second position in the list of the number of catches that have been taken in ODI cricket. Tell us a little bit about, the fielding prowess that Virat Kohli has displayed year on year, and it seems that with every passing season he gets fitter.
Absolutely, and something that has to do with his fielding is his fitness. because the moment, we've seen Virat Kohli say this often, that the number of hours that you put into your fitness, it is actually, proportionate, because then you cover those few seconds very easily. And we've always seen, in the outfield, there are players who are not able to get to the ball as quick as Virat Kohli is. And again, the fitness is paramount, and the kind of fitness that he's put in, the kind of hard work that he's put in is showing on the field as well. And the same goes, for a player like Ravindra, Jadeja, who've always been very conscious of their fitness, and it just shows on the field as well. And that's the reason, why he's been able to play cricket for so long, given the number of games that we have now with the IPL and all other, trophies happening. So, I just feel, blessed that we have someone like Virat Kohli in the outfield that we can trust. Okay, if there's a ball going towards him, we will hold on to those catches and run outs.
Well, in the process, Virat Kohli also got past 8,000 runs in ODI chases. Gautam, let me take the last question to you, and it's about really KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya. The role that they played in sealing the match today. They were right at the rear end. When Virat Kohli went, India still needed 40 runs, and it could have been tricky for India. Tell us a little bit about their temperament in holding out the chase against an opposition like Australia.
Yes, I mean, you see, both these players have done it in the past, but then KL Rahul was somebody who got berated quite a bit in that on that fateful World Cup final night. So he, as it is, it had been an unaccustomed position for him at 6. He had been carrying through, doing the last sides, a couple of tricky chases. I remember the one in Bangladesh, against Bangladesh. Here, where he showed that, if this is the way number 6 batter has to bat, I'm perfectly capable of doing it. I've done it in IPL, so I have the strokes. And for Hardik, if that 6-hitting ability had deserted him for a bit when he made his comeback, and often he was not being able to push things along, he underlined his credentials once again, and that was it. And that 44-run partnership, as you said, things can go wrong. I mean, quick wickets and the pressure could have been back on, because the Australians were as resilient as ever with that inexperienced lineup. The way Smith rotated his bowlers, brought back Adam Zampa, his lead spinner, because he knew he had to buy the wickets. So they always tried to win the game. Very crucial 44-run partnership.
Well, KL Rahul had finished off a chase in the similar manner in the Cricket World Cup in 2023. It was against Australia in Chennai. He hit a very big 6 over the long off against Glenn Maxwell to finish off that chase. Fans will remember that. For now, Team India will have to wait till tomorrow to find out who their opponent is going to be in Sunday's final. It will be New Zealand versus South Africa. That match is going to be played in Lahore. Pakistan, the hosts of Champions Trophy, for the first time, the host will not host the final because India hasn't travelled to Pakistan. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the show this evening in the moment of celebration as India marches into the Champions Trophy final.